Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
He tried to really, just a lot of sexual advances on my friends. And then he just tried to walk out on the party to have sex with his girlfriend. And then coming back a couple minutes later with no shirt on, asking everybody for condoms.
This is the plaintiff, Erica Van Ravensway. She says her former roommate was a total nightmare to live with, was inappropriate to others in the house, and was asked to leave. The guy once told her parents he had a naked girl in his room and then asked if anyone had any condoms. Yuck! She's happy he's out of her life and is here today suing him for the $245.85 he owes her in unpaid utility bills. This is the defendant, Palermo Deschamps. He says they had an agreement that overnight guests weren't allowed to stay over for more than 4 consecutive days, and the plaintiff violated that agreement all the time. She also ripped him off on the rent by overcharging him, and if anyone's owed money today, it's him. He's accused of being inappropriate. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,300 for overcharge of rent and security.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Erica Van Ravensway?
Yes.
You are suing Palermo Deschamps for utility bills that, according to you, he still owes you. You have counterclaimed against her $3,300 because now that she mentions it, you want back your security deposit, and you have serious complaints about the way she handled the last several months of your tenancy there and feel that you are entitled to damages over it. What's going on? Let's hear from you first.
Sure. So Palermo moved in at the end of March, and I had him sign a contract saying that he would pay 1/4 of the utilities.
March of what?
2015.
Okay. And may I see the lease that you had him sign?
So this isn't a lease, it's just a contract.
That's
so
a lease.
we had a...
Yeah. All right. According to you, do you ask him to leave or does he leave?
I asked him to leave.
Why?
Well, he was acting very inappropriately around my family and my friends.
So?
We had a Memorial Day barbecue. Every year I have a party, and everyone can bring their friends. He brought his friends and his girlfriend over. He tried to really, just a lot of sexual advances on my friends. And then he just tried to walk out on the party to have sex with his girlfriend, and then coming back a couple minutes later with no shirt on, asking everybody for condoms. There were about 20 people still there. A few days later, I went to dinner with my parents, and they both told me that he said that he had a naked woman in his room, which I feel is very inappropriate to tell my parents. After that, I was just like, no more parties. I'm just not going to bring anybody over. My friends didn't want to come over. They want to be around him. And then...
How many roommates were in this apartment?
There's 4 of us total.
And everybody else got along?
Yeah.
Okay. So at what day do you tell him this is not working? How long had he lived there?
He'd been there since the end of March, so it was a few months.
So not very long?
No.
Okay, so when do you tell him he's got to go?
Around July 15th.
Does that sound correct?
That sounds correct.
Okay. So then what happens? He moves out, but he moves out early. He moves out August 19th.
He moved on August 16th.
16th.
Yes.
Okay.
I had been working all day. I came home and he was drunk, and he asked me if Chris, another roommate, had told me that he was moving. And I said, no, this is my first time hearing about it. He said, well, Chris is going to
Well, you knew
help
he was
me.
moving in the next few weeks.
Yeah, but he didn't
You didn't
tell
know
me
what
the
day.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just came home and he said, oh, I'm moving tomorrow.
Okay.
So I said, okay. And he said Chris was helping him. I said, okay. So I text Chris, could you please just remind him to pay his utilities because they were due.
And then, so now, the utilities that he needed to pay would be one that's a bill that's come in and a bill that doesn't come in until next month, right? Because utilities are a month behind.
But I definitely just he's not the first roommate I've had, and I don't chase after people after the fact. I just keep it,
So you just wanted the utility, his portion, 25% of the utilities for July?
Yes.
Okay. May I see, do you have a stack of utility bills that covers many, many months, or just July here?
I have both.
I'd like to see a stack of, I'd like to see any utility bills you have over a long course of time.
Okay.
Did you walk around and ask people for condoms?
No.
Did you tell her parents you had a naked woman in your room?
No, Your Honor.
That's kind of a weird thing to make up.
Yeah.
No, meaning it has a ring of truth, because it's so weird.
The thing is, at that party, I was there with my girlfriend and my friends, and after a while of drinking and hanging out with everybody, we decided to go up to our rooms, and to my room, and then we were pretty much there for the rest of the night. And that's how I remember it. So.
Do you remember much?
No, and in the morning, she had a really big fit about it.
What was the total amount of the August bill?
For
For utilities, total utilities for August.
130.49. Con Ed is 95.36.
And you said 130.49, but is that
That was
his?
for National Grid.
Yes, the whole bill or a fourth of the bill? Because he's only
Oh, yes, that's 1/4. That's only his
okay.
portion.
How much was your whole National Grid bill for July?
I'm not sure.
Well, but see, I'm only seeing in what you're showing me a smaller amount than what a fourth would be. I would expect to see it be 500 and something, right?
Sometimes they skip when they read the meter.
You've handed me something that doesn't have July or August for Con Ed. Do you have a bill for Con Ed for July or August?
Yeah, so you have it.
Yep. You're going to hand me the bill, and you do know what I mean by bill, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here's everything and then some. I'm just going to hand you everything that's on my desk. And you're going to find the Con Ed bill, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so talk to me, Mr. Deschamps. It sounds to me like what's going on is this. These are all consistent, systematic charges that you always agreed to pay, but you appear to have a reason why you feel not only that you shouldn't have to pay, but that money is owed to you.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So when I moved in, there was an obvious problem with the room, and I talked to Erica about it. There was a really, really bad smell with the room, and it was as if there was a dead animal in the walls or something like that.
I hate when that happens.
It smelled awful. One day I came back into my room and it was covered in flies. Literally, something was in there rotting, and that's what the people said when they got back to us. They said that.
Who's the people?
The people that Erica contacted to go investigate.
Okay, so you hired somebody to take a look at it and see what the problem was?
My landlord, they have their own people that they hire. And
So all you had to do was call the landlord? It's free?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I'm renting.
why didn't that get taken care of in March?
Everything was taken care of. What happened was there was an exterminator, so there were definitely probably, things in the wall that were dead and
Can I just say that I wouldn't live in a place that you just described that way? Would you? Was it just his room or was it everything?
No, it was the whole house
really?
because the whole building was exterminated. So,
Right.
when you exterminate a whole building.
And according to you, was it the whole house or just your place?
The source of it was coming from my room for sure.
But it was everywhere?
That's where
Everybody
the
could smell
strongest was. Some days you could smell it throughout the entire house, but most days you can smell it in my room.
Okay, well, apparently it wasn't enough to stop the steady flow, according to you, of Airbnb tenants.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
So what happened? According to you, she was making a business out of the place that you were supposed to call home.
Yeah, so she became unemployed during that time frame, and then she decided that she wanted to make extra money by renting out her room to Airbnb, and she would not go anywhere. She would actually take hold in the living room and take over the common area of the house with all the other roommates in there. So we just had a constant flow of Airbnb guests coming in and out while the whole time we was there, and it was really, really bad to have strangers in our home. And she was
Were
completely
you renting
profiting.
out your room to Airbnb tenants? Which Airbnb is a website where people rent out. So if I want to go to your city, rather than paying hotel fees, I'll stay in your room for a few days.
Yes.
Okay. With whatever's in the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, promoting travel and commerce. All right.
Yeah.
So were you renting them out?
Yes, I did for about 2 weekends for the July time period.
How long was this going on, the Airbnb thing?
Well, I still do Airbnb, and it's way better than having roommates.
Touché. Do you agree with her that in July there were 2 weekends?
I wasn't keeping track of it, but I know it was a complete inconvenience for everybody in the house.
How so? Tell me about that.
So we all had day jobs that we had to go to work in the morning, and she would be sleeping on the couch in the middle of the living room. So if we wanted to go and get breakfast, make breakfast at home, we had to tiptoe around her.
To not wake her?
To not wake her.
Wait, she's demanding?
She's very demanding. I have a statement from my last roommate, if you would like to see that.
I do. According to the roommate contract, roommates are entitled to bring visitors into their rooms, but it is important not to abuse this privilege. Overnight guests are not permitted past 5 consecutive days. And respect is the cornerstone for all other categories of this agreement and for successful housing sharing. I don't begrudge you the opportunity to decide that you make more money doing Airbnb. I mean, unless your landlord does, but I personally don't care. But when you've decided that you have roommates and you're renting to somebody, how is it that you didn't violate all this by renting your room out to complete strangers who come in there to their space and common areas and everything else?
Yeah, well, actually, Chris, the other roommate there, suggested that I do Airbnb before we even had Palermo.
Tough. You rent it out to him. There are consequences for our decisions. One of them is that respect is the cornerstone of every aspect of this lease, and you have to be respectful of others, and you can only have a guest. That's not paying. That's not renting your room out and then telling everybody else to tiptoe around. How were these folks, by the way? Were they nice? Was it fun to have new people around there?
No, it wasn't. I mean, if you read Chris's statement, since the time passed, all the roommates that were living there during that time have been like taken out or left or evicted, so she can rent out their rooms for Airbnb.
So Chris is no longer there either?
Chris and I had a huge falling off.
Yeah, it didn't work out. And apparently Chris didn't like your Airbnb plan either, right?
Because it did not benefit him. He was paying $600 a month, and then he turned around and demanded more and more from me, and I just felt like I was being pushed around.
But that's fine, but do you see how silly it is for you to come to court over $245 when now he's counterclaiming against you look, Judge, I didn't get the right to peaceful enjoyment of the place when I was there because of what she was up to. I can't just ignore the guy's claim. You could have walked away from this, and then that would have been that. But because you sued him, you poked the bear. You made him angry.
He knew about
You made him angry, and now he's like, you got some nerve. And apparently the rest of your roommates are saying you've got some nerve because who else wrote a statement besides Chris?
Just Chris wrote the statement. Ruben, I think, just didn't want to be part of it, and he just left.
Of course he's bitter. He's bitter too. They're all bitter. But I got to be honest with you. It kind of sounds like they have a reason to be bitter.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, does the defendant have a right to move out without and just break the lease if the plaintiff makes this an Airbnb? Hi there.
Hi.
Okay. What do you say?
I would be uncomfortable. I would want to move out.
You would want to move out, but do you have a right?
I don't think if there's a written agreement, I don't think she would have a right.
Really? What do you think?
Absolutely not.
Not?
You signed a lease. You live up to it.
But the defendant saying, I wasn't banking on Airbnb.
I think that they do have the right to move out because it might not be in the lease that they had an Airbnb, so.
Well, that's the other way of looking at it, that it should be in the lease that it is an Airbnb. Good point. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you pay August rent?
I did pay August rent.
May I see proof that you paid August? Do you dispute he paid August rent?
He definitely did not pay.
Right.
No, I thought you said, did you pay all this rent?
August.
August rent. No, I didn't pay August rent. I didn't pay August rent because she kicked
Your
me out.
$900 security deposit goes to August rent. You argue to me, Judge, the reason why I feel I don't have to pay rent and therefore that $900 should come to me is that she deprived me of my peaceful enjoyment of the place by having people who she rents to, as opposed to guests, parading in and out. And according to you, you didn't even tell me about this, but they read this in the complaint that they were asking for ironing boards. You know where there's such and such.
Yeah, that was from the other roommates were being disturbed and everything.
And apparently, she also advertised that there was a lovely garden, which apparently was only accessible through your room.
Yeah, accessible to Chris's room.
Chris's room.
So they were walking through another roommate's room.
Okay, I got it. That is a violation of the lease. The question is then, what should you be entitled to? I find, based on what I've listened to, that you were entitled to $900. You're entitled to 1 month. Why? For a very simple reason. You cannot come here and cry to me that you had 5 months worth of hell, because you had an option to get out of it every single month. Every single month, you could just say, all right, this is my last month. But you didn't, because the $900 was a good deal, the location was a good deal, it worked for you, whatever reasons you have. So I find that what the depriving of your peaceful enjoyment was 1 month worth of stuff. Now let's talk about that $900. According to her, you still owe the utilities. So we're going to see how much of that $900 is going to go to utilities. I had asked you earlier for your there we go. Thank you. You lived there from March to when?
I lived there from the end of March to, I would say.
What's end of March? When did you move in?
Near the 28th or 29th or something.
So you lived there April through August?
Through August 15th.
How much was your monthly payment according to you?
For the
These
rent?
are not hard questions. How much did you pay in utilities per month? Every month, what would you pay?
Somewhere around like $130 to $150 was.
Every month you would pay more or less?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay. All right. This is the National Grid, and this is what?
She said the 5 is on that one, 521. That's what she told me.
Okay, sweetheart, your auto bill pay from your bank is not what I asked for, because for all I know, you owe 3 months because you haven't been paying the bills that these guys have been giving you the money for. I want your bill. You don't have it? That's it. There's no more discussion. So here's what's going to happen. The $900, I'm going to deduct $130 from it. You're going to owe you're not going to owe. You're going to get back $770. Verdict for the defendant. Net judgment. That's my verdict.
All right, hold on both sides, please.
All right, so here's the plaintiff coming out of the courtroom. He does collect back from you, although you got, $130 on the bill that you sued for. What's your reaction to this outcome?
It was very legal. I wrote it out. He had 45 days notice, and I'm just sorry that he was so filthy.
Mm-hmm. So you're sold on the Airbnb way of doing it, although you didn't do it quite right.
These people are very respectful. They clean up after themselves, and they are very nice people. He is not.
All right, step on in here. Where'd you come up with the story about you with that creepy behavior there?
I don't know.
You said she flipped out the next morning. What'd she flip out about?
She flipped out, I think, over the mess of the party. But there's always going to be a mess after a party.
You sure you didn't do something you don't remember after all that drinking and ask for things that you don't remember asking for?
No, I was with my girlfriend the whole time.
Where do you live now?
I live a couple blocks away in another apartment.
Better arrangement?
Way better arrangement.
Harvey?
Way nicer people.
You got to think about the possibility that the other side can file a countersuit when you sue them, and in this case, the plaintiff ended up on the losing end. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
This is the plaintiff, Judy Pollack. She says she hired the defendants to take her daughter's wedding guests to and from the reception from the hotel by limo. Minutes before she was to walk down the aisle with her daughter, 14 of her guests weren't there because the defendant forgot to pick them up. He knew what the job was, he knew the times, and he royally screwed up. So she's suing him for a refund of the $700 she's owed. This is the defendant, Kevin Armstrong. He says he was never told he had to pick up guests at a hotel. He was hired to ferry around the bridal party. Bottom line, he worked the scheduled 3.5 hours for the plaintiff, was never given information about a hotel pickup, and did nothing wrong. He's accused of not getting the job done.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant to take the bridal party to the reception, and the limo driver forgot to pick him up. He says that he wasn't given the right info. It's the case of get me to the reception on time.
Thank you, Douglas. Judy Pollack, you are suing for $700, a refund of half of a limo contract that you feel should be refunded because the work wasn't done. Tell me what happened.
Correct. It was the day of my daughter's wedding. My wedding guests that were staying at the hotel, I offered transportation for them. I hired him at 4:40 in the afternoon to go to the hotel in Jersey City, New Jersey, and transport them to the wedding venue.
Okay, did you also hire them to do something else?
There were two contracts. I'm not disputing the other one. The first contract was to drive the bridal party around for like photo ops.
Do you have the two contracts?
Yes, I do.
Let me see. How much total were you paying the limo?
$22.92.
Okay.
First contract, $892. Second contract, $1,400. I'm only disputing what happened with the second contract.
Okay. The one that's $892 was to do what?
Was to pick up the bridal party at the same hotel and drive them.
In a party bus of 20 passengers.
Right, and drive them around Liberty State Park to take meet the photographer, take photos, and then bring them back to the wedding venue.
Okay, now that was done.
Yes, it was, successfully.
Okay. So $892 you are not disputing?
I am not.
All right, now the other contract is for a coach bus, 56 passengers. 56?
At the time, I wasn't sure of the head count. Just to be safe and cover myself, I went with the higher count, yes.
Okay, and now the first party bus, the contract for $892, pickup was at 1 o'clock.
That was for the earlier contract.
For the earlier, that's the one where they're all going to places and taking pictures, all of which went off without a hitch.
That's right.
This second contract, though, is at 4:40 pickup, correct?
Right. And not the bridal party, and hotel guests.
Pick up at the DoubleTree, drop off at Maritime. Doesn't say what time drop off, but what time was the wedding?
It's highlighted. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Wow, that's
which obviously did not start on time.
No, clearly, but that was a pickup time at 4:40 for a 5 o'clock.
We knew we might start a little bit late, and it's only a 10-15 minute drive.
Wow. Okay, and then returning at 11. That you would take those same guests back to the hotel.
And more. That's also part of the higher count. There were more guests going back than...
Okay. So what you're disputing here is a portion of this or all of this?
I hired him for round-trip transportation. Only the 11 o'clock pickup occurred. Okay. Therefore, I feel I'm being fair by asking for half.
Your guests never got picked up at 4:40 from
stranded.
They were stranded? That's why you don't cut it so close. So what happened? How did you find out that they were stranded?
Fortunately, one of the guests was a boyfriend of one of the bridesmaids who texted her and said, "Are you even aware that, we're stranded here?" Which we were not.
How many people?
About 14 people ended up being stranded. They all called Ubers.
They all called Ubers, yeah. And did they get there at 5?
No, but...
The wedding didn't start at 5.
Did
they get there before the wedding?
Well, we waited for them, but we had built in a cushion.
So what time did the wedding start?
5:30.
So what happened that there was no pickup of the guests at the hotel?
Okay. When I first got to the hotel, let them know I was there. I was there 15 minutes ahead of time. I always tell them, take their time, I'm downstairs. Okay? 2 things I do. I've been doing this since early 80s. I've seen everything with limousines. I always collect money most of the time, so I want to make sure they know that they have a balance. I told her she has a balance. She gave me the envelope. I checked it, fine. The next thing was I asked her, what am I doing? She said, you're going to the address that's on the paperwork. I said, okay, fine. I got that in the computer. I got that in my GPS. Then when I got there, they went in, did a few things. Then I took them further down to where they're taking the pictures. They took the pictures, came back, and everybody got out the bus. No one never said that you were shuttling or you were supposed to go back to the hotel.
Well, I don't know that you are. I think that other party bus is supposed to be doing that. Did you know that?
I'm getting to that now.
Yeah, get there. Because your answer to me is, no one told me I was supposed to do it. I don't know what that means, because you're supposed to be two different vehicles. You're not the guy who's supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay with them, and somebody else is supposed to have picked up the guests and then take back the guests later on.
What was stated to me in my paperwork is right here, okay? This is what I received.
Who do you receive that from?
I received that from the owner. His name is Sam.
Oh, wait, are you going to throw Sam under the bus?
No, I'm going to throw Sam
under the
bus.
party bus? I think you are. I think that's what's about to happen.
So, which is more reliable for special events, Ubers or limos?
I'd say Uber, only because if the Uber doesn't show up, you can always call another one.
Fair point.
I would say limo, because you can kind of plan ahead and like book that in advance, where Uber, it's kind of on the spot booking.
Okay, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm going to have to go with Uber because, I mean, you can call and cancel it if you need to, and they always show up. I've never had a problem with it.
You know, I got to say, I think you're losing this one. Going inside the courtroom.
They asked you to come here. Yeah, he only gave you one of the contracts.
Okay. No,
he gave you this one.
I have the other one here too also.
And did Sam give you that one too and expect you to fulfill both?
No, I can't drive two things at one time.
Exactly. Where's the other guy?
Well, I was actually the second bus. I didn't know about the second bus. No one said anything about the second bus.
So I'm sorry. Let me see if I've got this straight.
That's why
Mr. Sam takes $2,200 up from her, doesn't show up to my courtroom, sends you for his defense, and your defense is Sam never bothered to tell me about providing a second bus, and that's supposed to be a defense? Why shouldn't this lady get back half her money?
I'll take more.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what could be more stressful? You're saying it's not my fault. I agree with you. It's not your fault.
Okay, well.
Okay, now defend Sam. You defended yourself like a champ. This wasn't your job. Sam farmed one business to you, and that's the one you did, and you did it soup to nuts. Gangbusters, tip and everything, right? He was the bomb.
No tips.
No tips. Oh, that's horrible. Why no tips? Well, they were probably
tips because
they were probably angry about the stranding the guests. Okay, so do you have Sam's phone number? Because I kind of would like to hear from Sam. What do you guys think? Come on,
if you'd like to hear from Sam, fine. We can call him.
Can you
we
call
don't know
Sam?
if he's going to pick the phone up.
No, I'm sure he's not, but let's try.
Okay, let's see if I can get him on the phone.
Why don't you tip him? He didn't do anything wrong.
For the record, on the contract, it says gratuities were included in my fees.
Oh, no. So Sam kept his tip?
100%.
Well, you have the copies of my contract, Your Honor.
Wait, no, I'm horrified. Hold on.
I think it says gratuities in there.
I'm so glad I asked you that. Hold on. Oh, dude. Sir, I'm sorry. Mr. Armstrong.
Yes.
Did you know that she was charged a tip? It's right on the contract.
Yes,
Isn't that what it says?
Yes.
So she shouldn't be tipping you. It should be Sam that's giving you the tip he collected on your behalf and kept?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's get Sam on the phone.
I think Sam should have been here, not me.
I think so too, Mr. Armstrong. I think Sam sent you to hold the bag. And it's so ironic because I don't know whether he just didn't care what you were going to say, but how are you going to say anything that other than Sam didn't tell me?
Yeah.
That's the only answer. We know that's your answer, and yet he sends you in here to say it.
And I'm missing a day at work, too.
Huh?
I'm missing a day's pay, too, here. Hello? Hello, may I speak to Sam? This is Kevin. Half an hour? Okay, this is Kevin. All right, thank you. Bye. Sam's not there. He'll be back in a half an hour.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. So when you talk to Sam, what does he say to you?
I called Sam on Monday to say, what the heck happened?
By the way, though, at night, weren't you worried that the bus wouldn't show up? Or it showed up early enough that you knew that you didn't have to call Ubers?
I was very nervous, but, I'm at my daughter's wedding. I obviously tried to not think about it and just... If I had to call a fleet of town cars or Ubers to get them back to hotels, so be it. But I couldn't dwell on that. It was supposed to be a fun day.
So a bus does show up and takes them back. Right. So when the light of day, the following Monday, you call and you speak.
Sam, he emailed me back response.
Oh, I need to see this. What did he say? Oh, that's lovely. Yes, I'm sorry I did not get back to you earlier. I spoke with the driver. He thought he was done at 4:40 because everyone left and no one asked him to do anything. I'm sorry about that issue. I'm willing to refund you $100. Isn't that big as Sam?
Real big as Sam.
That's real big as Sam.
$1,400 I spent.
$1,400 contract. He's willing to refund $100. And by the way, how much did those people spend in Ubering 10 minutes away?
I don't know.
Probably not that. Wow, wow. And all you asked for was $700.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret that right now.
Are you don't regret that? I got the power. Okay? You do not, I can make the pleadings conform to the evidence. That is what I do. Do not worry about that. And when you said to them, did you say to him, how is that fair? You didn't do half the job, I want half the money back. What did he say?
He said that it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. No, it works. The way it works is you give him money, he spends it, and then he doesn't refund it when he doesn't do the job. Yeah, I'm going to order him to pay you back more than that. I have to take into account that there was a party bus that took people back. I can't just order the entire contract paid back. Right. But I am going to order Mr. Sam to pay you back $1,000 of this contract is to go back to this nice lady.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Which, of course, you're not going to pay. Sam's going to pay. And
good.
while Sam is shelling out the dough, tell Sam that he owes you $148.73 in tips that he collected and didn't give you, which is highly illegal. Okay?
I'll let him know that.
Yeah, you let him know. All righty. Take care, folks. Wow.
What was the defendant coming out here? Well, the judge didn't give it to you too badly there. I mean, it wasn't your fault. But maybe the smartest thing Sam ever did was not answer that phone.
Well, I mean, you have to, in business, you have to take care of business, okay? Treat people like you want to be treated. That's simple. That's all I can say at this point.
You going to ask Sam for that money he owes you?
Absolutely.
What do you think's going to happen when he sees this?
He probably won't like it too much, but what are you going to do?
Is he going to be mad at you?
Probably so. But
and then what happens?
Could cost me my job, part-time job.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right, head right down this way. Hope that doesn't happen. All right, so step on in here and, wow, what was this all about for you? How was this?
I'm feeling a little triumphant right now.
Yeah. What did this do to your big day or your daughter's?
Well, before the ceremony, I was frantic. I was truly frantic. But your daughter's wedding is too huge to dwell on it, so I pushed it.
We kept it from her during the wedding.
Oh yes, we never told the bride.
She didn't know until
she had no idea what happened. So you pushed it to the back of your mind, and you got to enjoy the day.
And so, how'd the day go?
Fabulous.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Yeah, your daughter's wedding, right? All right, I know what you mean. All right, Harvey.
In a lot of states, limo companies are licensed, and you can call them if you're having a dispute like this, and they might put heat on the owner. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Antoinette Young. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, borrowed money from her to pay some fines and now won't pay her back. She's tired of all his lame excuses. She's sorry she ever got involved with him. She's sorry he's the father of her son. And she just wants the $160 he owes her paid back. This is the defendant, Sidney Judge Jr. He says money flowed back and forth in their relationship, and it's laughable she's suing him in court today. He doesn't owe her any money. The woman's upset because they aren't together anymore. She's upset he's found another woman. That's the only reason she's suing him here today. Owe her? No way. He's accused of bumming out his baby's mama.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says her ex-boyfriend stiffed her in the money department, but he says she's just pissed off because he has a new girlfriend. It's the case of alone again, naturally.
Thank you, Douglas. Antoinette Young, you are suing your former boyfriend, Sidney Judge, for $160 and an unpaid loan that you say he promised her to pay and then didn't. Tell me what happened.
Back in November, he was concerned about going to jail, before Christmas and things like that. He was concerned
Why was he concerned about going to jail?
He had penalty or fines and things he had to pay.
Fines for what?
Some charges or something that he had.
What charge? I mean, you don't think he's the father of your kid, right?
Yeah, I don't know really what. I think
what were the charges?
Drive without license, some traffic fines.
So he asked you for money?
Yeah, he asked it would help him if, he can be out for the holidays for our son. And being the mom that I am, I was concerned for him to be around for Christmas and things like that for our son. And I loaned him the money, but I didn't.
How much money did you loan?
Only $160.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have my son go without Christmas with Dad and things like that. So I told him I would only do it if he wrote a note, promised to pay me, because he's never, like, he borrowed a couple dollars here and there throughout our relationship and never paid me back.
Okay, and so did he sign the note?
Yes.
Do you have it?
Yes.
May I see it? What's going on?
Nothing. I signed the note. I was under pressure. You know.
What's the pressure?
If I didn't pay the fine, I was going to jail.
Oh, you mean you really, really needed the money?
Yeah, I waited for like the last
day. So if you promised to pay back the money,
right,
and the way you got what you really, really needed was to promise to pay back the money, why don't you have to pay back the money?
Because I feel as though she's doing it out of spite, because she gave me like 2 to 3 months to pay the money back. She found out I was talking to somebody else. Before I even got to the time limit to pay, I guess she already filed paperwork, or as soon as the time come, she filed the
Okay, hold on one second. When did you file the lawsuit?
January.
Okay, was it after the 1st of January when the courthouse is closed?
Yes.
Okay, the note you signed said that you would pay no later than the 1st of January.
Right.
Right. So the deadline had passed when it had nothing to do with how irresistible you are,
exactly.
And that she was worried that some other woman would have you.
Right.
You were supposed to pay, it says no sooner, I don't know why you can't pay sooner, but no sooner than December 1st and no later than January 1st, you were supposed to pay her back.
Right. So
right.
She texted me, she's going on, she's really not concerned about the money. She keep talking about who I'm with and things, like threatening me already. I'm taking you to court.
Do you have the texts?
No, I don't have them with me, no.
Okay, go on.
So she just saying, I'm suing you, I'm taking you to court, blah, blah, blah. So I'll start getting upset, like, let me just pay the money. Why you got threatening me?
Right, so why didn't you just pay the money?
Because she started threatening me. I'm not talking to her. I said, I'm done with talking to her.
Why don't you just pay her the money and then there's no case?
Because I not gave her so much money, like within the 7 years, like thousands of dollars, that I never charged her back or made her sign promissory notes or nothing like that. Paid her bills, cable, car notes, electric bills. Her bank account was negative. I could pull that back up. And I feel like you forgetting about all the things I done did for you all this time.
Right, but see, that I could understand that if there was some confusion about what this $160 were,
right,
and you said, hey, you know, we always a little bit here, a little bit there. I would loan her money, she'd loan me money. Neither of us ever expected to get paid. But you expected that to pay back because you signed a document saying you would pay back.
Right.
So why am I here again?
I'm here because after the fact of me signing the document, okay, I'll start getting harassed, phone calls, pops.
Can you prove that she was harassing you about women?
No, I can't prove it, but if you ask her, she admit to it.
Were you harassing him about other women?
No, Your Honor.
That didn't go so well. So on that side, I have a promissory note. On your side, I
have no evidence. I don't have the phone records. I mean, of course, she's not gonna say she did it, but it was very bad harassment. So I figured I'll just stay away from her, and then when I'll get ready to pay her back, I'll pay it. And I guess she wasn't gonna wait. I mean, we now did this for so many years. Like, she now got so much money from me, and I never stressed her back. So I'm starting to talk to her about that. Like, in some of the texts that I sent back, like, how about the $1,000
Do you have the text between you two on your phone?
I don't.
Okay. How come?
I'm limited in amount of texting, and as of time goes on, things delete out like that.
When I'm just asking her, like, you just don't remember about the thousands of dollars I not gave you, $160. We not.
Yeah, but see, none of that matters. You can't change. See, what's critical to me, and what defines what this is, whether it's a loan or a gift, is the intent of the parties at the time of the transfer of money.
Right.
And the way you got her to give you money was not only to play the I won't be around for my son card for Christmas.
Correct.
Boo-hoo. But also by promising to repay by January 1st, which you didn't do.
Right.
So what should I do with this piece of paper?
I feel if we
a notary and everything. You actually got it notarized and everything.
Yeah.
So the two of you went to a notary?
He did it.
I went. She told me to go because when I asked her.
So I guess you figured she meant business if she told you get it notarized.
Right.
Wasn't releasing any money until.
Right. So it's kind of serious. So kind of now you know she really wants to get paid back.
Right. Yeah, it was kind of serious. But at the same time, I just was feeling as though I gave you so much. Let's talk about that or extend me some more time.
Okay. So hold on. What do you think I'm supposed to do?
No, I just want you to hear what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying, and then what am I supposed to do? In your eyes, what is a judge supposed to do with this in her left hand and you boo-hooing about all the money you gave her during the course of your 7-year relationship on the other hand?
Okay, so he says the IOU shouldn't count because I was stressed out and I might go to jail. Is that a good defense?
I say you're going to jail anyway because that's some bull.
What do you say?
I don't think so because he still signed it and made the agreement of it.
Yeah, I'm buying what you're saying, going inside the courtroom.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to follow what you legally agreed to or what you feel now you should change it to?
Nah, I think you should follow the law.
There we go. Verdict for the plaintiff, $160. Thank you.
Wow.
So in a people's court, first, the defendant here has just ruled against himself for $160.
Pretty much.
In this case. So, I mean, you knew it had to go that way.
I did. I just felt as though we not helped each other out for so long that you wouldn't have forced me to sign this. You would have helped me out because I helped you out.
You thought she should forgive this?
Or give me some more time to pay it. Like, if I ain't have it when I told you. I'm here, I'm not in jail, so I'm going to be able to pay you back. But being that I was with somebody else, it's like, oh, no, I'm taking you to court right now.
Well, the right is hers according to the paper that you signed. And so you're still parents of the same child.
Right, and I still got to pay that $160 back.
Yeah,
right.
And you still got to parent together.
Right.
Ready to do that?
Yes, I am.
All right. Right down this way. Okay, come on in here, all right? You had the goods. You had the goods on him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You knew what was going to happen here in court. It was pretty obvious, right?
Yes, he signed the note and he knew what he needed to do and he failed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think he made you go this far to get this money back?
Because he wasn't trying to give it to me.
Mm-hmm. He says you were a little jilted, felt jilted?
Not really. He told me him and his girlfriend were going to see me in court, so take him to court. So here we are.
All right, Arby.
Okay, well, first of all, if you're arguing duress on why you signed something, it has to literally be life and death. And secondly, she was so smart, and this should be a lesson to everyone. Get it in writing.